Hey everyone, for this video we are back in IL-2 Pay Battles because they finally released Battle of Normandy. This launch has been significantly delayed and is one of the reasons why I have been sort of not playing a lot of IL-2, and on launch day I decided to jump back into the game. I thought this video would be interesting for both Warbirds and Jet players because this is me coming back home in a way after a very long time. I knew I was rusty, so I decided to approach situations in a way where I felt comfortable, and I think this sortie came out really interesting, and I think there's some takeaways that you can pick up to apply to your own flying. If this is your first time here, this channel focuses on multiplayer sim gameplay, so if you're into that, please subscribe. We start the sortie taking off from the French coast and are planning on doing a patrol of the English Channel. I am not familiar with the server or the mission scenario, so we're coming into this cold. I'm flying a Bf-109G6 late without MW50 and I've opted for the 30mm. Because this is my first real IL-2 sortie in many months, I'm planning to go for boom and zoom tactics, but because I think I will have trouble spotting against the ocean, I decided not to fly high and I'm patrolling at 3K. As I am unsure with the scenario and how the server plays out, I'm making sure to look above me and around me, and when I look forward I spot something. So we're not sure what this is, but we do know it is flying toward the French coast, so it's safe to assume it's enemy. And we also see it's 3 contacts, and 2 of them look like they're bigger, so either mosquitoes or P-38s. I go ahead and cut my engine. These guys are very low and trying to hide themselves against the dark waters of the channel. So the idea here is I'm going to kick my rudder over fully, cut my engine, and slow myself down so I don't overspeed. Already going 575 kph and about to hit 600, and don't want to overspeed and lock my plane up. And the great thing here is they haven't spotted me, so you can see my rudder is totally kicked over, trying to slow myself down just past 600, and I'm going to be easing my dive a little bit soon in order to kind of bleed this energy that I got. Still in a great position, they haven't seen me, and because of that I'm swiveling over to the right because I want to be able to try to bounce all 3 of them at the same time. So now I've kicked my rudder over to try to keep the ball centered. I'm going really fast, so I'm giving a lot of left rudder right now to try to keep the ball centered. Going for the fighter first because he's the most dangerous one. Immediately switch over to the second target. I was expecting him to brake, he didn't, so I'm taking my time here. And I see that he has bombs, so there's no real rush here. And here we go for some deflection shooting. And what I like to say a lot, he's jettisoning his bombs, and we're going to see that he bails out right here. So 3 kills right off the bat, great. And that was only really possible because that fighter was holding hands with the attackers. And what I mean by holding hands is, I do not mean he was escorting them. If he was escorting them, he would be in a position where he could actually intercept me, do something about me, anything, but he was really just flying with them. And it looks like they really didn't know what was going on, so that's kind of funny. But, learning lesson here, not to make jokes about everything, but don't need to fly wingtip to wingtip with the people you're escorting. You're just holding hands. And if you look back at some of my older IL-2 videos where we're doing high out bomber runs, we talked about this more, where you have to be in a position to intercept people before they can break up the formation. So we're feeling pretty good about this with 3 kills, and now the idea is to climb back up and to get into a position to intercept some more. So skipping ahead while I was climbing and cooling, I'm not quite back up 3K, but I decided to go back out toward the channel, and I'm just, again, on a patrol looking for contacts. With the ocean being dark, it's really easy to miss cons in IL-2, even in DCS too. And we had something really interesting happens here. I noticed a shadow, and could be me, but then when you look really closely, that doesn't really look like a 109. That looks like a Spitfire. And I have a I have COVID right now, so I kind of have COVID brain. So I was thinking, like, where's the sun? How can the shadow be casted onto Spit? And I look down, and then I see the Spitfire, and all happened because of the shadow and me trying to figure out where the sun was and trying to basically calculate how that shadow could be made. So I'm in a perfect position just by sheer luck. And in doing so, I actually saved, I think this is a 190 who was getting climbed up on by the Spitfire. So now we're at 4. And a lot of stuff going on, and I immediately get blinked by something, not sure what it is. And I see it is a Spitfire. Now, he's close, I'm not sure of his energy state. And what I decided to do is I want to try to do a reversal. So I planned for a double split S. And I'm a little rusty here, and I was slow on this. Very sloppy double split S. Didn't really complete the second one, and he's actually quite close to me. So I start to cut my engines and start to roll. I should have scissored here, not just done a straight roll. And I'm going to pay for that, but at the end of the day, it worked. We're slower than him. He's going to slip out past us, and we're going to see him make a huge mistake. Instead of using his energy to, when he should have detected himself overshooting and he should have kept going, he decides to cut back in. And knowing him coming down, I decided to power up and climb up toward him and try to cut the distance because I know he can't pull the AOA. And I'm able to get a 30 millimeter on him, and that's going to be enough to take him down. So already at an ace mission, which is pretty quick already. So I'm feeling really good. I haven't played IL-2 in a long, and the guy recognizes that was a pretty good shot. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. And to be honest, a little surprised. I wasn't expecting to get this ace mission coming back to IL-2s so quickly. So I decided to RTB because he did get a good nick on me. And in doing so, I'm getting distracted. This is Warbirds, it's not jets, there's no AWACS or GCI, so I should really be paying attention. And not only that, I'm leaking coolant or fuel, and I am making myself a very obvious target, so I should be paying attention more. And I'm doing a good job of looking behind me, but not doing a good job of looking up above me. And I see that something actually did buzz me, and it looks like I think this is a Mustang. So I'm wounded, I'm not fast because I was cooling my engine because the engine's damaged, and I point my wing at him and try to cut the distance to make it hard to shoot at me. Now, if I wasn't wounded, I might have turned back into him, but I am wounded, so I'm going to see if he's going to let me go, because I know there's other contacts or other planes around here, hopefully some friendlies. And I see that he turns back into me, so I decided to turn back into him, and we're going to see how this plays out. He's staying high, so I'm just buying time. I'm close to my airfield. I'm hoping there's friendlies nearby. And what I want to do is I want to put myself in a position that if he dives down onto me, I'm going to be able to try to get under him and make him pull too much AOA where it's going to be hard for him to hit for him to hit me, which I'm trying to do here now. Yeah, see, he's too fast. He can't pull. And just like I was talking, just knowing what's around me, a friendly is able to splash him. And now I am making sure that he's done, and his pilot's dead, so I do turn for the final RTB. And the airfield's right there. I was very, very close to it. All in all, a really solid sortie. I wanted to make this because I haven't flown IL-2 in a while, and I feel like I'm not the only one. In general, IL-2 to me is still a great game, but the engine feels hamstrung. Meanwhile, DCS is really accelerating, but it doesn't mean we still can't enjoy IL-2. Additionally, I feel like playing DCS lately has exposed me to a lot of people who have only ever played jets. And to you, I would really recommend spending some time in Warbirds. It's a great place to develop your fundamentals, and it is actually my favorite era to fly. The energy management, the angles, and the need to be proficient in your gunnery really demand more of you, and it'll translate well into any combat flight sim. I'm not the world's greatest pilot, but I do know the fundamentals, and just by relying on them, even while being rusty, I was able to do well in this sortie. So I hope you feel inspired to try out Warbirds, because it is not just a great educational experience, but genuinely very fun. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing, and I will see you online. Thanks.